Lindsay here, the frugal crafter with my crafty ninjas, Lorraine and Kathy. Lorraine and Kathy. I'm looking at the thing and it's backwards, so I wanted to point the wrong person. Oh my gosh. One of these days.
It's okay, we know who we are.
Yeah.
We can figure it out.
Oh my goodness, nobody's pregnant, nobody's having twins. We just know people are having twins and we're not drinking out of the same coffee cup. Let's just get that all out of the way. All right, Lorraine, what do we have first?
Okay, Linda Taylor says, I want to stamp a clear shower curtain. I want to use Stays On ink in black and color each butterfly. I can't use Sharpies because they are solvent ink and Stays On is a solvent ink. What would muddy up my butterfly image? That would muddy up my butterfly image. What can I use to color butterflies?
You can use chart pack markers because chart pack markers are xylene based and not alcohol based. So when I make my, if I'm doing my like tile coasters, like you know, stamping on there, if I stamp on Stays On, I use chart pack markers. I got a couple here
I was
actually.
just going to say, what the heck are those? I don't think I ever remember
It's just a
hearing you
brand.
say that.
It's a brand, and the chart pack ad markers, they smell horrible. If you're sensitive to, you know, the guys want to sniff?
No.
They smell terrible. Well,
Sure.
they smell awful. You guys gotta smell these.
This is not for children. Oh my, yeah. That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff.
Woohoo! They're xylene based, and they don't use the same solvent.
So I've been looking for one of those for years because I always wanted to do those transfers.
Yeah.
But I could never find
Chart
them
pack.
because they're bad. So I guess they're not
They're hard to
readily
find.
available.
I snagged a set. I think it was 10 or 12 markers. It was at AC Moore, but it's weird because they've never sold them before, and they had a weird price tag, and they were on clearance for $15. And I grabbed them because I knew they were like a $60 set. And they're great for that. And so if I want to do a tile or do something and use my Sharpies or my Pro markers or any of those markers to color it, then I'll do a photocopy transfer and I'll take my artwork and I'll go down to the library and have the librarian photocopy it for me, and then I put it face down on whatever I want to transfer it onto, like a tile, and I rub the back with a clear chart pack marker or just xylene, which you can get at the hardware store, on a cotton ball. I don't know if that might cloudy up your shower curtain. You'd want to do it on a test spot. I think it'd be fine coloring it in, because even if it made it a little cloudy on the butterflies, you wouldn't see it.
The smell, I would think that it would eat the shower curtain. You know that smell. But
Yeah, test it on an edge. But yeah, you'd be in a good mood when you're done sniffing that
so
thing
you
all
can,
day.
I mean, you can
Yeah.
still get
It's
those.
starting to
Oh,
And
yeah.
so what would the regular price be? You said those were on sale a little over $1 a piece. You think that?
I would think you'd probably pay, I know Blick has them, they probably have the best price, or Carpe Diem, they're a big marker store. I would expect to pay $4 or $5 a piece probably.
So they are almost as bad as Coke.
Oh yeah, but they're the only marker I know that's xylene based, and but if you have a sensitivity to smells, you're not gonna want to use them. You could use like PBO glass paint. That's any paint that doesn't need to be baked. That's a permanent paint that's transparent. So try that as well.
Gail says, I enjoy your program so much. Always fun, always
Yay.
informative. Thank you so much. Right now, I'm trying to organize all my art supplies. Good luck
Oh,
with
well
that.
done, good job. We're there with you in spirit.
My dining room and den are just covered because I'm in that process. I have many old, hardened, unopened squares of Sculpey clay. Are there any ways to salvage these, or should I just throw them away? Right now, they are like rocks.
Okay, well, first you have to determine whether whether they're ruined or not. And sometimes, I've had clay that's got truck bait, which I've actually bought it at the store, brought it home to use it, and it's been hard, and it's just, it was in a hot truck or something while it was being transferred. So, what you can do is take a sharp knife or clay blade and chop it up into, some people have will get a food processor just for this purpose, like the real heavy duty hardcore clay people, and you can grind it up, and then you can try working it through a clay dedicated pasta machine. I have one up here, it's by Sculpey, but any clay dedicated pasta machine, it will be fine. And you can see if it starts to hold together. If it starts to hold together again, you can save it. You can add a few drops of baby oil or mineral oil to it, and that's pretty much what the clay softener is that you can buy from Sculpey, and that can help replace the oil that's leached out of it over the years of being stored. But if you're not getting a dough after a while doing that, then it's going to be time consuming, and you can buy the clay for $1 on sale, so you gotta kind of weigh whether it's worth your time. I would put about 10 minutes into it. If you're not getting anywhere, I would pitch it. because it may have been truck baked. It may just be old and dried out. So, you know, if you add a couple drops of baby oil, don't go too crazy. You don't want to damage the integrity of the clay. But if after a few drops, chopping it up and kneading it, if that doesn't help, then pitch it. It's going to take you way too long to be worth salvaging.
Shauna Gerst says, I noticed you use Creative Memories punches, which I also have and love, but they're starting to stick while you're trying to punch. So I'm trying to figure out how to clean them or whatever to get them to stop sticking, especially since Creative Memories is all gone now. Also the blades for the cutting system. I love my cutting system. I wonder what to do when the blades get dull because we won't be able to buy these anymore. Please help. Thank you.
Okay, for the punches, what I do when I get a real sticky one is I get the WD-40 because that lubricates and it cleans. And I'll spray that in there, and I'll just kind of punch the punches down without any paper in it, just kind of really get it working in there, and then I'll punch through some cheap copy paper until I don't see any more grease residue. And then that will usually do the trick. If that's not working, you can try some Goo Gone. And you might want to do this outside because where you're using WD-40, then Goo Gone, you may have some fumes. We love our fumes here. And I just kind of cleaned around, see if there's if you can see any adhesive buildup anywhere. It'll just kind of look like grease, kind of blackish grease, just kind of clean that out. And then you can follow up with punching through wax paper and tin foil to kind of sharpen it a little bit. And that'll get you some more time with those punches. I mean, they should last a long time. As for the blades, I'm really at a loss because I love my circles and ovals that I have from Creative Memories. Some other outfit it might have been Purple Cows. Had a very similar cutting system that was on rails like that. Does that ring a bell?
Mm-mm. The Purple Cow, yeah.
Purple.
I remember
Do you
that.
remember seeing any
Yes.
shapes? Did they have any shapes that have a little blade on a runner? Because I'm thinking there's another company out there that has almost the identical thing that they recently released.
I don't know if I remember seeing the shapes. I remember kind of like a wave ruler that was
Creative Memories has one of those.
Right, but I think Purple Cow did.
You do they? Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know if they had the circles and stuff.
So I'm thinking, I'm thinking it might be Purple Cow, it might be Fiskars. I think there's another company that has a similar blade. If I can find it, I will put a link. If you guys know, please share the comments below because I'm gonna need some cutters too. Mine are getting there.
How are the blades like in the system? Is it possible to use like a sharpening stone or a file or anything on them?
I don't know because I think if you make them too short, they're not gonna, because they ride these rails. Right. You have the two pegs that ride the rails, and I think if it's too short, just like with trying to sharpen a Cricut blade, if you get it too short, it's not gonna cut.
Not gonna cut,
right. So I think that. And I always make things duller when I try to sharpen. I have no skill for sharpening blades.
But my husband's a chef, so he's used to sharpening. And
but it's
so
such a tiny little blade, though.
Yeah, because he's done my serger blades before.
Yeah.
For me. But.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll have to keep our eyes out. If you guys know of a little cutter that will fit in the rails of the Creative Memories cutters, please let us know. Because I was bummed to hear they were closing, and I might not be able to get those.
Is it you? Me?
I don't know. I've lost track. I'm not paying attention.
Laura Church says, I love my Karen? I should put my
Karen
glasses
Dash.
on. Karen Dash. Okay. Water soluble crayons.
French, ooh la la.
But I only have a 10-pack. Not nearly enough colors, and large sets are very expensive. I'm looking for a quality substitute. Thanks. I never miss a video.
I would recommend the Lyra watercolor crayons. They are so much cheaper, and I got a set of 24 at Blick, surprise. And I think I paid about $15 for it because I did have a coupon. I was putting a fairly large order in and I had a coupon. But they're really good. They're almost as good as Caran d'Ache. They might not be quite as opaque, but the sticks are larger. And they're definitely comparable. You could definitely substitute them and use them with your Caran d'Ache you already have. Lyra water-soluble pencils. Crayons. Yes, crayons. I could get the should I get the package? I could get the package.
Sure.
Okay, you read. Somebody read a question while I go get the package.
Okay, I'll read the question. You answer it.
No, I didn't sign up for that. I can hear you. I can listen.
Oh, she's right here.
All my stuff is in here. I can run it.
Jeannie DW83 says, also, do you make your own art journals or do you use pre-made art journals, and what kind of paper is in an art journal?
I use pre-made art journals. Look at me multitask. That's the set of 24. I think it was 15. These are
pretty.
really nice, yeah. I use pre-made. I use the Canson XL Mixed Media Journal. It's the first one I tried. I really liked it, and so that's why I use that. But, you know, it's up to you. If you have stuff to make it, go ahead and make one.
And if I'm not making a liar out of myself, I think I've seen that at Walmart for like $5.84.
Wow, really? That is a bargain.
Yeah.
Make sure it's the mixed media, because there are several Canson XL products. Make sure you have the mixed media one.
Melody Fairborn, what is the best cardstock to use alcohol markers on? Glad to see you are back.
Oh, we get that question a lot. Actually, I recommend the Paper Tray Ink Stamper Select, especially if you like to use markers and then go over it with colored pencils, because it has a little bit of tooth. Or I like Nina Classic Crest, 80 pound, in the color Solar White. But they also have Cryogen White if you like a little sparkle to it. But those two are fantastic.
Okay.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Look at all this. I thought it was going to be a poem or something.
Is it a poem? Maybe
No, it
is.
isn't.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Madam ABEC says, I will be painting soon and bought some 16 by 20. There's 3 questions in here.
Okay.
16 by 20 pre-primed canvases through a popular online art supply store at a good price. First question, do I have to or should I go ahead and prime over the pre-primed canvas before I start to paint?
Nope, you are fine for our oils,
Good to go.
acrylics, most media with what's on it already.
Okay, second question, are pre-primed, pre-stretched student grade canvases good enough to use if I want to sell some of my art?
I don't see why not. They should be acid free. They should be fine.
Great. My third question is this. I'll be creating some larger art pieces that are more three-dimensional using molding paste and gels, etc. I think that I want to use wood panels or cradled wood panels for my larger pieces of work. How many coats of gesso should I use on the wood?
We should take a drink every time we say the word gesso.
Yeah. I think that's replaced glycerin for this
I
season.
think so. I think
it
so.
has. This is all for now. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So we answered do you need to prime this to grade? So we're just basically the last question, right? On these.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you remember it?
Yep, I remember it. So if you want to use, I think I would almost go the opposite way. I would use a primed wooden support for smaller pieces because it's going to be darn heavy. But anyway, if you do want to use wood panels, I recommend you use masonite or hardboard. You can get it at the home improvement store. It comes either an 1/8 or a 1/4 inch thick, and it's not very expensive, and they will cut it down for you at Lowe's anyway for free. So you tell them what you want and have it chopped down. And then I would you want to apply your gesso thusly.
Oh, that's
You want to first add a coat horizontly with your brush.
That would
Let
be
it dry.
vertically.
Vertically.
In the real world, the S is vertical.
also known as vertical.
I'm sorry, I just couldn't let it go. And then you want to go hot dog way. Let it dry. Oh, sand between coats, a little light sanding between coats, and then do the next one vertically, up and down, or side to side. Just alternate each time. And you can make a frame, just like a 1x2 pine frame or something, to cradle it. Now, let me show you something. This is a stretch canvas. I'm going to show you the back of it. This is a very large, oh gosh, can I get that? So when you get a stretch canvas, it's big. This is really big, and it's got a cross brace, and it's got corner braces, but it's not heavy. It's really light. This would be really heavy if it was a masonite paneling, and probably masonite is going to be the lightest that you're going to find for that application. So, I mean, you can buy stretcher bars and you can buy a bolt of canvas, and it's not that expensive, and you can make your own for the larger pieces. And I would recommend that, just because transporting that is going to be a pain, especially if you're taking it to festivals to sell. You're gonna have back problems before too long, and that would be my advice anyway. But 3 coats of gesso if you do want to do that. All right, what do we have time for another one? Yeah.
Katie K says scrapbooking. Ever thought of hosting a virtual crop? So many of us would have a blast scrapping with you, but obviously that's impossible. Some of the companies, class sites, i.e. BPC, occasionally host a virtual crop event. Logistically, it might be too expensive, etc. But What if you were scrapping on some set time? Did some Ask a Crafter showcase some of them as you scrapped, etc.? How many pages do you get done started? If I was at a crop with you, I would probably get none done from laughing all the time.
That's about right.
All right.
You know, and I've talked about this in a couple of different Ask a Crafters, seeing if we can logistically do this. My only concern with doing a live crop would be it wouldn't be very entertaining because we were not as productive as you might think we would be at a crop. Actually, I get quite a bit
You
done.
are very productive.
Yeah, because you come all prepared. Well, that's a key there.
I have limited supplies. I don't really come that prepared. I have all my photos printed off and I have limited supplies, so I can't have that many options to distract me or
Which is a good way to do it. I mean, it's really good. If you got too much stuff you bring,
I'm a lot slower here.
That would be what I do.
And then you have to decide what to use.
Right, I'm a lot slower here because I have all my stuff. So but my pages come out nicer here because I have all the options.
Right.
My stuff is very plain at a virtual crop. But my concern for doing it live is that the internet here, and I have the best, fastest option that I can get where I live, it's still not going to. You're not gonna have this kind. You're not gonna have this kind of smoothness and quality that you've come to enjoy in a live program. So we did a show once with a webcam, and I did and to my I did ask what people thought of it, and so
you really opened up.
I opened up to that. I did ask, and it was overwhelmingly negative. They did not like the quality. Now I do have a high definition webcam, but I'm very limited to what my my internet is going to allow as far as it's not going to be 30 or 60 frames a second video. It's going to be kind of halty and choppy, and maybe the audio would be all right, but the audio would probably be fine, but the video is going to be a little choppy. So if you guys didn't mind that, I'd be happy to try some sort of live crop. I think it'd be a lot of fun, kind of like probably through Google Hangouts or Google live stream. Those are both enabled on my account. I can do those. I just haven't yet because I'm not very technically savvy. I need somebody, almost just one person looking at the computer and asking the questions as I come through on the feed, because there's like a little chat box and people can chat, and I know I could probably have a few people actually as guests that I could pop up on the screen, but then again, I've never done it, so it would be probably a very interesting evening. And then there would be, I wouldn't know what time to put it, as far as we're in Eastern time zone, so we're ahead of the day, so if
we're ahead of some and behind some others.
Right. So I know I have a lot of folks over in the UK that watch, but I have a lot of folks in the rest of the United States, so it's funny because I have all these, as I'm trying to improve my channel, I know all this, fancy stuff now. I can see what time people are most active on my channel.
I'm sorry.
Are you really? Well, good. I'm glad. Vertically, horizontally. Yeah. I've learned something new today. But my viewers are most active at 10 p.m. in the evening on Easter time. So if I was to do one at 10, I don't know, I might fall asleep. Be the mellowest you've ever seen me.
Robin could do it with you because she stays up till midnight every crop.
That's right. Oh, we could do maybe. I don't even know what the internet situation is over there with the crop. Probably not.
We could
That's not very good. Maybe. So those would be my questions. What time to have it? Would you guys watch if it was not this fine production values that you're normally used to? And would it be boring if we're just sitting around making pages? Let me know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love your feedback on that, because that's something that we have toyed around with doing in the past. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want more Ask a Crafters, check out the video description where there is a link to the Ask a Crafter playlist where you can watch our smiling faces for days on end if you are so inclined. And of course, leave your comments so we can answer them on an upcoming episode. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.